Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Abdul Nasir Jangda from Qalam Institute, coming to you once again with a special session of the Qalam Hangout, 30 days, 30 questions about the month of Ramadan. So a question that we received, again, a number of times, and it's a very practical question, and that is if a Muslim woman, if a woman is fasting in the month of Ramadan, and her menstruation begins while she is fasting, what should she do in that situation? So first and foremost, obviously it goes without saying that if a woman is experiencing her menstruation, then she is not to fast during that time. Rather, she will make up that number of days afterwards. But what about the situation where a woman is already fasting? She started fasting in the morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever the time is. And she fasted, let's just go ahead and say, most of the day. And her menstruation begins in the afternoon. I'll even go as far as saying her menstruation begins in the evening. Shortly before the sun sets. Like a decent amount of time before the sun sets, but shortly before. An hour before the sun sets. Her menstruation begins after the Asr prayer. What about in that situation? In such a situation and circumstance, her fast will become invalid because the requirement of fasting, according to Islam and Sharia, is that no eating and drinking and no engaging in physical intimacy, sexual intercourse with one's spouse, and on top of that, not entering in to the condition of haid, which is a menstruation, all the way from the Fajr time, the break of dawn, till the sun sets. And if any of those conditions are invalidated, then the fast similarly will be invalidated. The fast will not count. So that fast for that sister will not be valid. She will have to make up for that day after the month of Ramadan is over. Some folks might say, well, that's not fair, that's not right. We just have to understand it is what it is. Inshallah, this doesn't mean that the sister doesn't get any reward. In fact, we hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she gets the reward of fasting that day, and she will also get the reward for fasting another day as a make-up day for Ramadan. But the technical requirements of that fast were not met, and she will have to make up for that day. So that answers that question. There is a side question that is related to this, that if the menstruation begins and the sister is no longer fasting, then what about eating and drinking? So the issue about eating and drinking is that obviously she's no longer fasting. That will be something that's okay for her, valid for her. If she eats or drinks something, it's not like she's committing a sin or anything like that. It's completely valid. But obviously common sense needs to be taken into consideration, that she probably wants to keep that to herself and not do that publicly, so not to expose her situation to everyone, and also because unfortunately some folks might not give the benefit of the doubt and they might misunderstand or whatever the case may be. So obviously you want to keep it private, you want to keep it to yourself, but nevertheless, if a sister now in this situation eats or drinks something, there is no sin on her for violating Ramadan some way, somehow. Absolutely not. She's not fasting in this situation, and there'd be nothing wrong with her eating or drinking. Generally speaking, all people are recommended to try to observe, at least publicly, the behavior of fasting and to stay with the community in the spirit of Ramadan. So you want to be careful and cautious about that. So this was another session of the Qalam Hangout. 30 days, 30 questions. We're right here at the very end. If you have any questions, inshallah, that you'd like answered, please send them in to us. You can send them in to us via Twitter, Facebook. You can leave them in the comments of this video, or you can email them to us, questions@qalaminstitute.org. Just remember to title or tag your questions with #QalamHangout. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.